Want to keep in touch with me outside of YouTube? Check me out on facebook.com/pause life of Patrick. Also on Twitter at plus life of Pat. Hey guys, it is Patrick, and this is the Pause Life of Patrick. Today I want to talk about if you're HIV, or for people living with HIV and wanting to get back into the dating scene. And I kind of want to go into that a little bit in detail. If you don't now, follow me online on my blog, and that's at the pause, well, not the pause, but pauselifeofpatrick.com. So go there and you can look at the writings that I do. But I do the video portion too because it's a little bit more interactive. It puts my little personality in it, and also I know some of you, just like myself, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult at work, or even at driving or being out and about to read. So just listening or just watching kind of makes it a little bit more interactive. So right from the jump, let's say you're ready to get back into the dating scene, dust off those cobwebs, put that sexy outfit on, and just get out there. But you're struggling with the reality that you're living with HIV. So these are my suggestions and my recommendations of what you can do, and these recommendations are basically based off of my own experiences. So when I found out I was living with HIV, I was HIV positive. I was in a relationship. Once that relationship, well, even when my relationship was going on, throughout it, my therapist was like, "Are you happy where you're at?" And I'm like, "I'm comfortable, but I don't know where this is gonna go." And she was like, "Well, what would dating look like for you?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I mean, this is living with HIV and just figuring that out. It's very tough. I don't think that anybody would want me." Because during that time I was dealing with like lack of confidence, and I felt like I wasn't really you know gonna ever be loved or ever date again. So she worked every time I would go to sessions, because they would be an hour long. We would talk about these things. She used to always push this, and I'm like, "Oh, stop pushing this!" But she really did a good job, and her main focus was vulnerability, because I was so scared of getting hurt. I just protected myself, and I didn't put myself in a situation to be in a relationship. So vulnerability is such a major thing. You have to put yourself out there and be prepared to be hurt. Be prepared to be let down. I mean, these are things that people all in all should be prepared to deal with. But specifically, people with HIV, you should be ready for these things. I mean, these are things that we deal with. So yeah. But the main thing, my number one thing, and I'm going to go through this list, would be know about rejection. And it's something that hurts, it's something that is painful, but it's going to happen. And that's whether you're HIV negative or positive. So rejection is going to happen. And I'm not going to say walk around paranoid thinking that the guy you're going to date, or the guy you're dating now, or even in a relationship now, is going to drop you, or is playing with you because you have HIV. It's just that it's a natural thing of life. It's like a circle of life. You get in a relationship, or even before. Excuse me. I had some Reese's peanut butter cups. Um, but anyway, so even the process of courting, rejection happens. And a lot of people ask me, well, when do you decide to tell people about your HIV status? And for me, it's like I tell people generally off the jump. I mean, for me, it's like, yes, I'm living with HIV. Usually I do it. There's a couple ways I do this, so this is my advice. Usually I send them, I say, hey, there's something I really got to tell you. If it's an issue I completely understand, just let me know. I get it. Because I do get it. People fear and what they don't understand. So I put that out there right at the jump, and they go, usually like, what is it? And I usually say, here, take a look at my blog. Or even sometimes I'll say, hey, I'm living with HIV. And then I'll follow up quickly with, again, if it's an issue, please let me know. And there have been plenty of times where guys have been like, no thanks, I don't want to deal with that. Or, no, I don't want the bug, or whatever. And it's just like, oh, I don't want AIDS. And then if someone says something like, I don't want AIDS, I go into like the education portion of, well, do you know the difference? Because, you cannot catch AIDS. AIDS is a progression of HIV if left untreated. Most people living with HIV know that. But, so yeah. But being prepared to deal with rejection. And I recommend, at least by the third date, be prepared to tell somebody about your status. One, because you don't get connected or too connected, and that person doesn't get too connected to you. Because imagine if you have been dating someone for like 6 months, you're like falling in love, and then they break that news to you. It's like, wow, like what else are you hiding? So that's kind of a major thing. I would say by 3 dates, my recommendation: tell them about your status. But yeah, rejection. It could be that perfect guy, that guy that you think is just everything that that you want, and they hear those 3 letters, HIV, and they run for the hills. Expect it and expect rejection. I mean, it happens, and it's gonna hurt. I promise you, it's gonna hurt. But would you rather hurt for a little bit or hurt for a long time, hiding a secret? So yeah, understanding and having forgiveness. So when people are like, "No thanks, man," I don't want to deal with that. Forgive them and understand that people are, again, fearful of what they don't know, and use it to educate. Ask them, what do you know about HIV? How is it transmitted? The 4 fluids: blood, semen, vaginal fluids, and breast milk hold HIV and can be transmittable. So I mean, educate people on those things. And you'd be surprised where I'm doing HIV testing now. People, the knowledge of HIV is so low. I mean, people can't even tell me what the acronym for HIV stands for. So put that in the grand scheme of things out in the nation, where people don't even know what HIV means. They just know it kills, or they just know that people can get it. So off the bat, due to the lack of education, they're already fearful. So understand that some people you just cannot teach. Some people, even if it's the dream guy or girl, you think they are going to be the one, there's not going to be anything you can do about the situation. So just forgive them for their ignorance, and be give them amnesty. I mean, no one's perfect. And then broaden your horizons. I mean, stop being so darn picky. Oh my gosh. Like, I said this when I was on education, education's bottom line, when we were talking about this subject, and I'm like, people are like, I want a guy who's 6 foot tall, light skin, athletic body, 10% body fat, has a college degree, works in a pharmaceutical company, makes 6 digits. Stop being so picky. I mean, for me, I have non-negotiables, which non-negotiables mean, like, I will not date you or deal with you if you follow one of these criteria. One, if you don't have transportation or in a metropolitan area, you don't like to use that public system, and you rely on me, the person you're dating, to get you from point A to point B, non-negotiable. Lack of enthusiasm and having goals on long-term goals and short-term goals, non-negotiable. If you don't have those, we can't deal. People who aren't like active, like mountain climbing and being out and doing sports and activities outside of the house, if you don't do that, non-negotiable. Perfect example. But you can have your non-negotiables, just don't make a long list. I mean, your non-negotiables should not be looking like this. No, no exceptions. So make a little short list of your non-negotiables, but be broad in your horizons. Think about, if you're gay, think about possibly dating someone who's feminine. Think about someone who's dark skinned if you're into light skinned guys, white guys if you're into Latinos. For white men, think about dating black men or people of color. So I mean, stop being so picky, and everybody is not going to have a ripped 6-pack. Everyone's not going to be popular or well known in the scene. A total top, total bot, or power bottom, smooth, hairy. Stop being so picky. Gosh. Be prepared to answer questions, because people are going to ask you questions like, how can I get it? Or, are you undetectable? Be able to properly tell them what undetectable means, which means that your viral load is suppressed. Doesn't mean you're cured. Doesn't mean that you don't have the virus. It just means your viral load is suppressed and the transmission risk is very low. So be able to answer those questions. So my recommendation would be go on a website like thebody.com, and if you're not really sure, do the research and know a little bit about HIV 101. That way, when people ask you questions, like people you're dating, and when you disclose these things, you're able to answer the questions. And have confidence. I mean, confidence is something so, so great. And just because you're living with HIV does not mean you have to lower your expectations. And I'm not going to lie, I have done that so many times. I'm not gonna go into that, but I felt as if I had to settle to some extent when I'm dating people. It's like, and I'm not gonna lie, again, being completely transparent. People who know me will say Patrick, you will always date somebody. It's like a new guy every month. And it's like, because one, I'm being vulnerable. And two, a lot of times it's because I feel like I have to settle. I deserve somebody who, I don't know what that person will look like, but I deserve it. I deserve to be with whoever I feel like I can be with, and I shouldn't feel like I can't talk to somebody because I feel like they're not on my level. If that guy's on a 10, you know what? I'm on a 10. I don't have to be the best looking person in the world. I don't have to have the greatest health, but I have the confidence, and the confidence within you is what really matters. So don't feel like you have to settle. Don't feel like you have to lower your expectations. Even if it's somebody who's abusive, don't feel like you have to continue to date that person because you feel like no one else will want you because you have HIV. There's plenty of people living with HIV who are looking for love, and people who are HIV negative who are open to dating someone who's positive. There's also people living with herpes and hepatitis who face the same stigma to some extent, not as much, but as we do, who are, not getting the same love either. So there is a wide buffet of options. So don't feel like you have to, lower your expectations. Also, be open to someone who is living with HIV, like dating them. So I have honestly had a lot of success dating people who are HIV positive. Now the relationships didn't last long because of other reasons, but I really wasn't on board with it at first, but I like it because they know what it's like to have the up and down moods. They know what it's like to be sad some days. They know what it's like to take your medication on time, to be adherent to that medication. I've dated someone who we checked on each other to make sure our medications were being taken, and also encouraged each other to make doctor's appointments when we weren't feeling good. Now the relationship didn't last long, but it was very refreshing to have because people who are HIV negative a lot of times aren't educated, and they're either overzealous in their ways and making sure you take your medication, like calling you every morning at 8:30, like, did you take your meds? It's like, I'm a grown man. Like, yes, like, it's not like I was drunk last night or like, traveling to another time zone. So you don't have to call me every day. I mean, it's cute, but after a while it gets overwhelming. So someone living with HIV knows what it's like, or completely understanding. And I feel like be open to the option. In the beginning I wasn't, but now I am. And they're educated too about, you know, they're educated about HIV and, what it means to be in care. And that's always a plus. Always a plus. So if you're dating somebody, let's say you're dating somebody right now or in a relationship, if they have a problem with your status, like they constantly mention it in a negative way, or you tell them not to disclose to people, and they're doing it behind your back, and they tell you later, and let those kind of people go. I mean, don't cry over spilt hopes and dreams. Obviously, you may want it so bad to work, but my friend, my really good friend, I'll use his name, Lewis. We've fallen off, but we're working on building back our relationship. But he told me when I was in a really that abusive relationship I talk about when I was first diagnosed, he sat me down and we met for dinner, and he was like, would you rather hurt for a little bit, like break up with somebody and hurt maybe for like 1 month, maybe for 6 months, or would you rather hurt years? Like you've been with this person for years, and you break up years later, and you're like, I just wasted 6 years of my life. Would you rather hurt for a long time and regret, or break it off earlier and hurt for a little bit? So, if they have an issue with your status, let them go. If they're not, if they can't look behind or beyond HIV, something that you're taking the steps to take care of, then let it go. I mean, surround yourself with people who will love you. I call them my roots or my rocks. Surround your people who are your roots or your rocks, who will hold you down and be there for you. And let those loose leaves and that clay go, because clay, you can mold and it breaks down and it's not cute. But a rock is solid. Keep with your solid support structure. And then I think really work on yourself. And I mean, this is something that I preach and I really have a problem practicing. I mean, being honest with you, I am still working on me, and I am not perfect. And I will say that right now at this moment, that I have a lot of things that I have to work on. But that's so important for people living with HIV and people in general. You got to work on you before until you find that Prince Charming or that dime piece. You got to work on you, and it's from within. And I can be honest and say I have really been obsessed with dating and wanted to never be alone and love. I don't want to die alone. And I'll be completely honest with you. That's what I struggle with because I always have a need to be in a relationship. And just recently, really just within the last month or so, I really have spent countless hours working on me. And that's why a lot of times I've been working on my projects, but I've also been working on me. And the construction on me has really been physical, like by going to the gym and training for this marathon. Sidebar, don't forget crowdwise.com or go to pauselifeofpatrick.com for more information on helping me out raise my funds for the grassroots project. Oh, my lisp. But I think I'm like 400, maybe like I think $460 short. I mean, yeah, $460 short of my goal of 1,000. So help me out on that. But you know, sidebar, I've been taking back on track. I've been taking time on me, and that looks like working out, getting more in touch with my spirituality, getting more emotionally strong, um, and really just discovering who I am and what I want out of life. I feel like I can't do a significant other any good until I know who Patrick is and what Patrick wants out of life and want out of a partner. So I'm doing a lot of soul searching right now. And the sky is the limit. So work on you because we only live a short period of time. So we always have to work for self improvement. I'm a big advocate of that. The final thing is just affirmations. Remember to keep your spirits high. And when things get really tough in the dating scene, you feel like you're not having any luck, stay positive. You know, being positive is positive within itself. I know I'm giving like crazy eyes, but it is. It's really about staying in a positive mindset. And affirmations are really good with that. So when you're down and you feel like that guy that you're talking to on Grindr or Jacked, or even that guy you're talking to and went on a date with and he doesn't call you back, say things like, you know what, I look amazing, or I'm a really awesome person, and if he doesn't call me back, it's his loss. Or say something like, when you're going on a date and let's say you have a pimple, because, sometimes I break out last minute, or, sometimes, like, I'll be completely honest, my eyebrows aren't done and they look a little thick, or I got that unibrow action going on. Thanks, Mom. Or even sometimes I'm lazy. I don't feel like getting my hair cut, or I feel like I bloat. A whole bunch of issues. I'm telling you, again, I'm working on myself. But I say things to myself like, you know what? I'm going to really impress on this date. Or, you know what? I'm going to look good. Even if that means sucking in my stomach and throwing on some foundation, I'm going to look good. Just joking. But but I do say things like that. Like I say things like, you know what? I'm going to look good regardless. I'm going to do awesome. I'm going to really impress this guy. Confidence is everything. But I'm curious about what do you think are ways to help people who are getting back into dating, particularly after their HIV diagnosis or after taking a hiatus from dating. What are your suggestions? I'm open to that. Let me know. I'll conclude by giving you a couple of things. So I've been working really hard. I'm sorry in regards to me not filming and doing a lot of vlogs. There's a lot of projects that are going on, and I can disclose some. I can't disclose others because of the. My rule is I don't until I see a commercial with my face on it or advertising with me on it. I really don't like to say things about that because it's just a downer if I say it and it doesn't happen. But one thing that I can confirm is that through the National Minority AIDS Council, I will be at the United States Conference on AIDS, which is really exciting for me. I'm with the HIV working group and also with the youth. Yeah, can't speak English. I'm like slurring my words and lisping today. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, through NMAC, the National Minority AIDS Council, I'll be with the working group of people living with HIV, like the Wellness and Health Initiative, and I'll also be with the youth scholars through the scholarship. So I will be spending my time there throughout the conference in New Orleans. So please, if you're going to be at the conference or you live in the area and you want to meet up and talk or just fellowship, reach out to me. You can do that on my Facebook page or through Gmail, pauselifeofpatrick@gmail.com. Reach out to me and let's hang out and let's talk. I would love to meet. I call you guys my family. I don't like the words fans because I feel like we're all in this together. So, really I want to reach out to my family and hang out with you guys. So if you're going to be at the conference or if you're going to be in the area, reach out to me. So that's one thing. The next thing is I can't really say much about it, but I am going to be on TV, and it's something really special that I've been working on so hard. I've been working on this thing so hard. It's been so draining, which is the reason why I haven't been able to film, because I've been doing filming for other projects. So look out for me in the fall, but I'm not going to say anything else on it because if it doesn't happen, I don't want you guys to be upset about it. So that's one thing. And what else? I'm trying to think. Yes, um, so the Black We Blog Awards, I've been nominated for three categories, and they're health or wellness, um, best personal blog, and best writing in a blog. So when the nominations when the voting starts, I need your help to help me vote or help me get these awards. And it's not for me, because I don't do this for me. I do this for the main reason of getting the word out again about HIV and AIDS and people living with HIV, and people who are affected by it. So by me being placed on a platform where I could speak publicly about it, i.e., winning an award, I could bring light to the issue. So I need your help to get the word out. So that darn. Ooh. Anyway, so when the voting starts, I'll post it on Facebook, all my social media, but please help me out. I love you guys so much. You guys mean the world to me, and your motivation to hit me up and talk to me, and your courage to really tell me your stories. Have been so amazing. And I'm here for you guys. I honestly say that from the bottom of my heart, and the people who have reached out to me know that. Even though it's so busy, I really do take the time to try to get back with you. If I don't, I'm sorry. If you haven't heard from me in a couple of days, reach out to me again. It's just really tough with everything going on and working in the new job and all of the above. So I do love you guys so much, and you guys mean the world to me, and my friends, my family, like you guys, and then my family I live with. I love you guys so much, and you guys really do mean the world to me, and thank you so much for supporting me. So without further ado, I'm going to wrap it up. But those are surprises and things to look store for within me. And I really look forward to hear what you guys have going on. So reach out to me, message me. That's pretty much it. So I love you guys. Take care. And I hope to talk to you guys soon.